I start teaching the lesson, and I turn this on because I want my kids at home to hear this. When you are quarantined, you guys were a couple days, but that was easy compared to 14 days, as you can imagine, if you did. But I am telling you, when you are quarantined and you watch these videos, you cannot just watch the video, because your grade will plummet during that 2 weeks. You don't sit here in class and just watch me teach it, do you? What do? You take notes? Do you try to answer the questions? Try to think through? That's what you have to do when you're quarantined. You have to do it just like you were in class. You can't just watch. Because I do have my button up there. That math is not a spectator sport. It is a skill. You can't learn football by just watching. You can watch TV all day long, but you still wouldn't be a good player. You have to participate. You have to participate in math. You have to do it. All right? So if you all are quarantined, for those that are home that are quarantined, you still have to participate in class. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you're going to struggle. Because you learn by seeing, so I write it. You learn by hearing, I say it, but you also learn by writing it down. So, today, we are going to do more practice with identities. The difference is, today, you will have an equal sign. And you can change one side and only one side to make it look like the other. So you know what the answer is going to be. You just have to figure out how to get there. That's the difference today.
Okay.
All right?
You have to be confident in these answers.
You will be.
It tells you what the
You will know if you got the right answer. So guess what? I'm not grading the answers. Guess what I'm grading? The word. I know the answer.
Okay, I will write it specifically nice for you so that way
I
you
will
can
tell
read my
you.
writing.
I will tell you that I expect everyone to go straight down. Because when you go across, you get lost.
Mm-hmm. I will write especially nice.
You know the identities?
Your life is easier.
You all know the identities? Are you working on learning them?
We're working on learning.
All right.
Learning them through practice.
Let's start with a fairly easy one.
All right.
All right? Your problem will look something like this. Sine negative x plus cosecant x equals cotangent x cosine x. Now, the directions say verify. Verify means I change one side to look like the other. I can make a choice. There were some problems that you guys might choose different sides to work. That doesn't make either one right or wrong. I will tell you it is easier to go from addition to subtraction to multiplication. So I'm going to work with the left side. All right? The first thing I need to do is get rid of my negative angle. What is sine negative x?
Negative
So I have negative sine x plus cosecant x. I'm working with the left side, so I'm working down underneath it. So I know what side I'm working with. I stay in a row underneath it, okay? Now, what do I do?
You convert cosecant to be
let's go sine and cosine. Because I'm going to tell you, you're going to know sine and cosine rules a whole lot better than any of the others. All right? So I have negative sine of x plus 1 over sine of x. Okay? Guess what I have now? I have two fractions. Don't I? So what do I do with fractions? Common denominator. Is it going to be sine of x?
Yes.
Which gives me what on top?
Negative sine squared x plus 1.
You okay with that? What, Chandler?
I see it.
I see. What do you see?
I know how to find the cotangent.
Well, okay, tell me what you see first, because I can't just go to cotangent.
Yeah. The negative sine squared x plus 1, if you rearrange it to 1 minus sine squared x, you can apply that to the identity that's cosine squared x plus sine squared x equals 1.
That's right. So, so this is cosine squared x. The language of math. Language of math.
Is that cosine squared
Okay.
x?
Remember I said
Yeah.
we're going to use sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1 a lot.
Is that supposed to be cosine squared x?
Yeah. You don't like my...
I just want to make sure. No!
So I have cosine squared x. If sine squared plus cosine squared is 1, is it 1 minus sine squared cosine squared?
Sure.
Think about it. If I have this, I just subtracted sine squared from both sides and got this. Didn't I?
Oh my gosh, that was so satisfying.
If I subtract this over
Okay,
here,
I'm getting there.
does it give me this?
Okay, yeah.
So, which is cosine squared. That makes sense?
The cosine squared x over sine x into
Now, at this point, you look at where you're going. I need a cosine x. Do I have a cosine x? So I actually here, don't I have cosine x over sine of x times cosine x, which is what?
Cotangent times cosine.
And by the way, your last step states that they are equal. That's a cotangent x. I don't know what happened to that. Your last step states that they are equal.
Each other, like,
Well, right,
or do you sine?
see, this, I converted to this. I just say, now the left equals the right.
Oh,
Okay, Chandler's gonna like this. I'm not sure about the rest of you. But it's okay, she's got enough enthusiasm for all of us.
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's a good thing.
Let's do another one. Oh, how hard do I go? Why do you wait till Sunday evening?
Say, I'm putting these ones tomorrow morning.
Saturday.
Saturday morning I got film and then college football's on and it just
College football's on. That's a good point. I forgot about college football. That
There's
is
fewer and fewer games on, it seems to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're still very entertaining.
Some are very
I'm telling you,
disappointing.
there's been a lot of upsets already this season.
Yes, there has, and part of that is the COVID,
Yeah.
because of who's out.
I want to see the podunk teams you never hear about in the playoffs. That's what I
Oh,
want to see.
yeah.
It can happen.
I want to see Rice University.
It's happening a little bit in my school.
Yeah.
Because you don't follow it, I'm sure, but like today is state volleyball. One of the teams that made it should not have got there, but they ended up playing somebody that all the good ones were out. So there's, and so now what's going to happen when they're there? It's still going to happen that somebody is out. All right. What about this one? What do you think? Left. You want to work? I want to work left. Do I work left?
Sure.
What's your idea?
Would you first find the greatest common denominator?
But it's the same practice.
Actually, I would find the least common denominator, but it's going to be the same thing.
Did you say greatest common denominator?
She did.
Well,
They
yeah.
have the same denominator.
No, one's a plus and one's a minus.
Yeah.
So they
but
equal
how much
the
of a
whole
difference
equation
does
as
that
like
end up
the.
making?
A lot. Because my denominator is going to be what?
It's gonna be the sine squared.
Line.
No, it's going to be 1 plus sine x
Oh,
times 1 minus sine x.
Oh.
Is it okay if I do that first?
That works.
Okay.
oh, sure.
Because when I get a common denominator, that what I do is multiply them together.
Oh, I see what's gonna happen.
So what's on the top?
1 minus sine x, 1 plus sine x. It's the same thing.
No. Be careful saying that. 1 minus sine of x plus
Yeah.
1 plus sine of x. See, you said it as a times.
Oh, okay.
And I thought you were doing it right. You just said it wrong. Just making sure.
I like that.
Turn it into one.
Did that make sense? What I did that make sense?
Oh, did you then?
What do I have in my numerator?
Do you break that into two?
What's in my numerator?
It's can it be?
It's 2.
It's 2.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yep.
You all agree it's 2?
Because the sine x's cancel out. One's positive, one's negative.
They actually subtract out?
Isn't it
Oh,
also
I can do that.
actually never mind.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I need a 2. Don't I?
Yep.
In my answer? So I've got that.
Oh, so you
So what is my denominator?
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
The 1 plus the sine x times the 1 minus. Or would you multiply those two together?
Okay, notice, I want you to pay attention. What I want, I don't want it all written out. I need to shorten it. If I need to shorten it, I FOIL. Right? So what do I get on bottom?
Sine squared x.
I think I get this.
I'll take your word for that.
Difference of squares.
Difference of squares.
I was like, huh?
If I have x plus y times x minus y, isn't that x squared minus y squared? So I have 1 plus sine, 1 minus sine. It's 1 squared minus sine squared. Yes? No? Are you okay?
Yeah.
You're good?
I'm thinking.
Oh,
I'm
you're
thinking
thinking.
ahead is what I'm doing.
Okay. As long as you're good with that.
Yeah.
Are we good with that? What is this?
Oh, I got it.
What's 2 over cosine squared?
2 times 1 over cosine squared x.
No. Is this close to this?
Yes.
So what is this?
It's
Is this 2 secant squared?
oh yeah. I went ahead and did the extra step.
Oh, well that's okay. What do you think?
Those are equal to each other.
Can you do these?
I think so.
You think
I don't know.
We're not done doing examples, right? Can we do like one?
You want to do one more?
One really hard one. Just to really get me
And what's
motivated.
the hardest
I'll
problem?
say we just kept working on these, didn't do an
Call it a
assignment.
day. Yeah.
coming on Monday.
Work really hard.
Yeah. I don't know
Or
about doing
we
these
do
by myself.
like two problems, but they're the hardest problems to combine, and just gamble. You know?
How far would
Let's
it
see how that
be?
works.
Is that 20 minutes?
We don't gamble.
From where I live.
Yeah.
I live up to
Obviously,
20, so
gamble
it's
is
close.
what's wrong.
It's not gambling if you know you're
Like
gonna
10 minutes.
That's just called being smart.
We go north
called
of
counting
County
house.
House. Where's south? It's south from there. Or am I thinking of Burgers?
Okay.
Burgers
I
is
want
south
to
of
learn how to
Claremore.
do that and go back. So people do that.
I haven't been there
Oh
since
yeah.
like April. Yeah. So you go over to Claremore first. I just don't remember where you go.
Where are you going?
The football game tonight.
Oh, yeah, you go through Claremore.
Yeah.
Stop and eat. Yeah, stop and eat in Claremore. Whoa,
Oh, we.
Thank you.
what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's cute.
Jeez.
Left or
We
right?
have quite a. I want to left side.
Let's try right.
I was gonna say right.
You wanna go
well,
right?
I mean, we can just. Yeah,
I
let's
feel
go
like
right.
right is
Okay.
gonna be a little
Okay.
easier to
I
figure
can
out.
go either one.
Which one would you do?
Which one's the
That's
easiest?
going on.
Oh, it's the plus.
I love
The
left.
plus.
I think the right.
The
They
right.
look
Okay.
I think the
equally.
right.
Equally bad.
You know, when I look at this, yeah, I told you guys yesterday, I've done this for a million years. I can see like 7 ways right off the bat to do it.
Like chess.
So you have to realize that just how Kristen does it and Sandy does it, they may both get it right, but it may not be the same way. So don't get all upset if you're not doing it the same. Because your brains don't work the same. So you want to do the right. Is that what you decided? Okay. If I'm doing the right, I've got to get rid of the cosine cubed. Do you agree?
Yes.
So I'm going to change it just for fun
Yeah.
times to this. And the reason I changed it to cosine squared is I know an identity for cosine squared. Don't I?
Maybe do.
What is it?
Negative. What is it? 1 minus.
1 minus sine squared.
Yeah, sine squared.
Do you agree?
1 minus sine. Well, squared x. Squared x.
So I have 1 minus sine of x over 1 minus sine squared x times cosine x. Right? Will this factor?
Like factor into each other?
No, will the 1 minus sine squared,
Yeah.
will that factor?
Yes.
So I have 1 minus sine of x over 1 plus sine of x, 1 minus sine of x times cosine of x. And the reason I chose to do that is because what do I want my numerator to be? 1. So I need to get rid of that numerator, don't I? And what happened? Will they cancel?
Yes.
So what do I now have on the top?
1.
1. What do I have on the bottom?
We have, in parentheses, we have 1 plus sine x times cosine x.
Which is what?
If you
Is it
distribute
this?
that, it equals that.
Oh
You
my
distribute the
goodness. It
cosine
does equal
equals.
that, doesn't it?
Yup.